The restaurant was full of people. Plates were making noise, chairs were moving, and customers were talking loudly. In the middle of all this chaos, a young waitress named Anna moved quietly from table to table. She was fast, but her face looked tired. Her eyes showed worry, and her hands were shaking a little. Everyone could see she was struggling, but no one cared enough to notice why. A group of loud customers sitting near the window made fun of her every time she passed by. "Hey, we asked for water 10 minutes ago. Are you sleeping?" One of them shouted. Another man laughed. "She is too slow. Maybe she should find another job." Anna looked down, whispered sorry, and walked away with her head low. She didn't fight back. She didn't answer. She just accepted their rude words, as if she was used to it. Other customers saw this, but they didn't react. Some ignored it. Some pretended they didn't hear it. Some even smiled like it was normal. But one person didn't ignore it. A little girl named Emma, sitting at a corner table with her mother, watched Anna very closely. Emma was small, maybe 8 years old, but her eyes were sharp. She was not watching the food or the people around her. She was watching Anna. The way she moved, the way she smiled softly, even when she was sad, the way she never looked anyone in the eyes. Emma noticed everything. She noticed Anna's uniform. It was old, almost torn at the edges. She noticed her shoes. They were cracked, like she had walked a long way. She noticed her hands. They were shaking every time she carried a tray. Emma felt something strange. Something was not normal about this waitress. Something was hidden behind her soft smile and quiet voice. Emma tugged her mother's sleeve. "Mama, why is she sad?" Her mother didn't even look. "She is just a waitress, sweetheart. Maybe she is tired. Eat your food." But Emma didn't stop looking. She watched as Anna went to another table where a family complained loudly about the food being cold, even though it was fresh and hot. Anna apologized again, even though it was not her fault. Then Anna walked toward the kitchen door. Her walk was slow, almost heavy. She disappeared behind the door. Emma leaned forward. Her heart was beating fast. She felt like Anna was crying inside. The restaurant noise continued as normal. The rude customers laughed. A child dropped a spoon. A couple argued about money. But Emma's eyes stayed on the kitchen door. Something was pulling her. Something inside her whispered, "She needs help." But no one sees it. After a moment, Anna came out again. She wiped her eyes quickly with her hand, trying to hide her tears. Her smile was fake now. It didn't reach her eyes. Emma saw everything. No one else did. Anna walked to the rude customers again. One man snapped his fingers at her like she was not even human. Anna looked down and said, "Yes, sir. I will bring it right away." Emma felt anger rising inside her small heart. Why were they talking to her like that? Why was Anna so scared? Why was no one helping her? A sudden moment of silence came. Emma heard someone from the next table whisper, "I heard she only works here because she needs money fast." Something about her family. Emma's curiosity grew more and more. Anna walked back into the kitchen again, slower this time, and Emma took a small step off her chair. She wanted to follow. She wanted to know the truth. Narrator voice for YouTube style. Everyone saw a weak waitress. Everyone saw a girl who worked slowly. But the little girl, she saw something no one else did. The suspense grows. Emma quietly walked toward the kitchen door, her small hand shaking, her eyes determined. Something big was about to happen. Emma stopped near the kitchen door and looked back at her mother. Her mother was busy talking on the phone and didn't notice her leaving the table. The restaurant was loud enough that nobody paid attention to a small girl walking slowly toward the staff area. Emma felt nervous, but something inside her told her to keep going. She reached the kitchen door, pushed it open a little, and peeked inside. The kitchen was warm and full of steam. Cooks were moving fast, lifting pans, chopping vegetables, and shouting orders. In the middle of all this noise stood Anna, the same waitress Emma had been watching. But now, Anna was not smiling. Her face was pale, and she was holding her phone tightly. Emma saw Anna step into a small corner behind a shelf. She spoke in a quiet voice, almost whispering. No, doctor. Please. I'm trying my best, Anna said softly. She paused, listening to the voice on the other end. Her body shook slightly. Yes, I will bring the money. Just don't stop his treatment. I'm begging you. Emma's heart dropped. His treatment? Who? Is someone sick? Anna pressed her hand against her face, wiping her tears quickly. I will work double shift. I will find a way. I promise. Emma understood something important at that moment. Anna was not sad because she was weak. Anna was sad because she was fighting a problem a child could not fully understand. Yet Emma could feel the pain clearly. Emma pushed the door open a little more, and accidentally the hinge made a small squeak. Anna jumped, quickly hiding her phone in her pocket. She turned around with a frightened face, expecting maybe a manager or an angry customer, but instead she saw a little girl standing in the doorway. Emma froze. Anna froze too. For a second, they just looked at each other. Anna tried to smile, pretending everything was normal. Hey, sweetheart, Anna said gently. You cannot be here. It's not safe. Emma took a small step inside. You're crying, she said softly. Anna blinked fast. No, it's just something in my eye. Now go back to your table, okay? But Emma didn't move. She looked at Anna's red eyes, her tired face, her shaking hands. You're not okay, Emma whispered. Anna felt something inside her break. Nobody had asked her that in a long time. Nobody cared enough to look deeper. Everyone only saw a slow, tired waitress. But this little girl, she saw the truth. Before Anna could reply, the head chef shouted, "Order up!" Table 4. Anna quickly wiped her eyes again and said, "Please, go back before your mother gets worried." Emma nodded slowly and walked out of the kitchen, but her mind was filled with questions. As she returned to her table, she kept thinking about Anna's phone call. Who was sick? Why did she need so much money? Why was she working so hard alone? Emma sat down in her chair without saying a word. Her mother finally ended her phone call. "Where did you go?" she asked, just looking around. Emma replied quietly. But her mother didn't notice the sadness in her voice. Emma watched Anna come out of the kitchen again. Anna tried to act normal, but Emma could see her hands shaking more than before. She saw the fake smile, the forced calm, the pain hiding behind her eyes. Customers called her again. "Miss, come here. Hurry up. Where is our order?" Every rude word hit Emma like a small stone. She wanted to shout at them. She wanted to tell them what she heard. But she was only 8, and nobody listened to children. Emma whispered to herself, "She's not weak. She's brave." She picked up a napkin and started folding it again and again, thinking deeply. She needed to do something. She needed to help. She didn't know how, but she knew she couldn't stay silent. Narrator tone. The little girl now carried a secret that could change everything. She saw the truth hidden behind a smile, and her heart refused to look away. Emma looked at Anna again and made a small promise to herself. I will not let her stand alone. The noise in the restaurant kept growing, but inside Anna's mind everything felt quiet and heavy. She walked to the counter, picked up another tray, and forced a smile before returning to the customers. Her steps were slow, careful, as if she was afraid the world might break if she walked too fast. Emma watched her closely from her corner table. The little girl noticed every movement, every small shake in Anna's hands. Every sigh she tried to hide. Every moment she looked away so people wouldn't see the sadness in her eyes. Emma felt her heart sink a little more each time. Anna reached the rude customers again. They didn't even look at her face. They only complained. "This is cold. This is not what I ordered. Do you even listen?" Anna didn't say a single word back. She just nodded and apologized, even though the food was perfect. She took the plates and walked away. Emma saw her shoulders drop, as if each rude word became a heavy stone added to her back. Emma's mother finally noticed her daughter staring again. "Sweetheart, eat something," she said. Emma shook her head. "I'm not hungry," her mother sighed. "Please don't worry about the waitress. She will be fine." People like her are used to this. Emma looked at her mother, confused. Used to this? Used to pain? Used to being treated badly? How could anyone be used to that? She didn't reply. She only kept watching in the kitchen. Anna placed the plates on the counter and took a deep breath. One cook whispered to another, not knowing Emma could hear from her seat. She hasn't slept for days. Her brother is still sick. Right? Yes, he is getting worse. Emma's eyes widened. Brother, sick. Getting worse? Pieces of the puzzle were starting to come together. The picture growing in her mind wasn't a happy one. Anna leaned against the wall for a moment, closing her eyes. She whispered to herself, just a few more hours. Just stay strong. Her hands trembled again. She grabbed a glass of water, but her grip slipped and the glass nearly fell. She caught it just in time. No one noticed. No one cared. Emma felt like crying. She felt something she never felt before, emotion too big for her small body. It was sadness mixed with anger, mixed with something she didn't know how to name. But she knew one thing. She couldn't just sit and watch anymore. Anna stepped out again, this time with a smaller tray. She delivered water to a table and moved toward another. But her legs shook. It was small, almost invisible, but Emma saw it. Anna placed the tray down, but her hands slipped again. A fork fell to the ground. She quickly bent to pick it up, but the rude customers laughed loudly. Wow, she can't even hold a tray. Maybe they hired her for charity? Anna froze for a moment, holding the fork tightly in her hand. She didn't look up. She didn't defend herself. She just stood there, silently taking every insult like she had no right to speak. Emma clenched her fists, so tightly that her small nails pressed into her palms. Why are adults so blind? Why don't they see she is hurting? Why don't they care? The restaurant manager walked by but didn't stop. He just waved his hand and said, "Move faster, Anna." "Ah," Anna whispered, "Yes, sir," and stood up straight again. Pushing down the pain she carried, Emma felt her chest tighten. She couldn't hear everything Anna's heart was saying, but she could feel it. Every silent tear, every hidden worry, every moment of fear. Emma felt it all as if it were her own. Emma looked at Anna and whispered under her breath, "You're not alone. I see you." Narrator tone. Anna's struggle was invisible to the world. But the little girl. She saw what silence hides, and soon she would do something that no one expected. Emma breathed deeply. This was the moment she decided she had to help. The restaurant grew louder as the evening rush increased. More customers walked in, dishes clattered, and orders piled up. But in Emma's small world, everything was focused on one person, Anna. Every time the waitress walked past her table, Emma felt the weight on Anna's shoulders even more. Anna's steps were unsteady now. Her eyes were red, not from smoke or kitchen heat, but from holding back tears too long. Her hands shook as she carried another tray toward the rude customers, who had been mocking her since the beginning. The man at the window table snapped his fingers again. "Hey, finally. Took you long enough?" he said loudly. The people with him laughed. They didn't care who heard them. Anna placed the tray carefully, trying not to drop anything. She whispered, "Sorry, sir." The man leaned back in his chair and smirked. "Sorry doesn't bring hot food. This soup is cold. Take it back." Anna looked at the soup. Steam was still rising from it. It was clearly hot, but she didn't argue. She reached for the bowl to take it back. But the man suddenly pulled the bowl away and let it slip purposely. The bowl hit the floor. Soup splashed everywhere. The loud crash stopped the restaurant for a moment. People turned their heads. Customers stared. The room went silent. Anna froze. She knelt down immediately, her hands shaking as she tried to clean the mess. Her hair fell over her face, hiding her tears. But Emma saw everything. The man laughed and said loudly, "Look at her. Can't even hold a bowl. What kind of waitress is she?" Someone else added, "My dog has better balance." People around chuckled or shook their heads. Some looked uncomfortable, but nobody stood up. Nobody said anything. They just watched Anna kneeling like she had done something terrible. Emma felt a fire inside her chest, hot, angry, and bright. She had never felt anything like this before. Her hands were shaking, not from fear, but from something stronger. This is wrong. This is so wrong. She slid off her chair and walked toward the scene. Her mother didn't notice until Emma was already halfway across the floor. "Emma, come back," she called, but Emma didn't stop. She reached Anna, who was on her knees, trying to clean broken pieces of the bowl with trembling fingers. Emma bent down beside her. Anna looked up, surprised. "Sweetheart, go back." "You'll get hurt," she whispered. Emma shook her head. Her little voice came out stronger than she expected. "You didn't drop it." "He did." Everyone heard her. The rude man's smile faded. The restaurant went silent again. Emma stood up. She was small, but her presence felt big. Her eyes were full of courage. "She didn't do anything wrong," Emma said louder. "You're lying. You made it fall." The man's face turned red. "Kid, go back to your table," he muttered. But Emma didn't move. "No," she said firmly. "You are being mean. You are hurting her for no reason." People started whispering. "She's right. He did drop it. Why is he picking on her?" The man looked around, now uncomfortable because the attention had shifted to him. "I didn't do anything," he said defensively. Emma pointed straight at him. "I saw you," she said boldly. "You pulled the bowl away on purpose." The man stood up angrily. "Don't accuse me, kid." Before he could say more, Emma's mother rushed over and held her daughter close. "Emma, you shouldn't, but—" Emma pulled away from her mother's hand, stepped closer to Anna instead. The little girl reached out and gently took Anna's hand. In a clear, steady voice, she said, "She is not weak. She is brave. And she doesn't deserve this." Quiet ripple passed through the restaurant. Someone stood up. "He's gone too far," a woman said. Another man added, "She works hard. Show some respect." The rude man's confidence broke. He looked around at all the angry faces and sat down quietly, trying to avoid eye contact. Anna stared at Emma, her eyes filled with shock and emotion. No one had ever stood up for her like that, not a friend, not a manager, not even a stranger. But a little girl had, narrator tone. In that moment, the room saw what the little girl had seen from the start. Kindness hidden behind pain, and courage hidden inside a child. The restaurant was completely silent. Every eye was on Emma and Anna. The rude man who had mocked Anna looked smaller now, like the power he had used against her had suddenly disappeared. Anna's hands were still shaking, but for the first time that day, she wasn't shaking from fear, she was shaking because someone had finally defended her. Emma stood in front of her like a tiny shield. The manager rushed over, trying to control the situation. "What is happening here?" he asked, looking confused, before anyone else could speak. Emma turned to the manager and said loudly, "She didn't drop the bowl. He did. He made fun of her and hurt her." The manager glanced at the man, hoping he would deny it, but the man didn't speak. He knew dozens of eyes were watching him now. Anna tried to pull her hand away from Emma gently. "It's okay, sweetheart," she whispered. "Please, don't get in trouble because of me." Emma shook her head and looked straight at Anna. "You didn't do anything wrong. You're just working. And they're being mean." A woman from a nearby table stood up. "I saw what happened," she said. "The girl is telling the truth," another man added. "We all saw how he treated her. Enough is enough." The rude man opened his mouth, ready to defend himself, but his voice came out weak. I didn't mean to." His words faded into silence. Emma turned back to Anna. Her voice softened. "Why didn't you tell anyone they were hurting you?" Anna didn't answer at first. She looked down, her eyes filling with tears she had been holding back all day. "I can't lose this job," she whispered. "I need the money." Emma felt a lump in her throat. "What do you need money for?" she asked. Anna hesitated. She looked around. People were watching. The truth she had been hiding for weeks now stood heavy on her tongue. Finally, she said in a shaky voice, "My little brother. He's very sick. He's in the hospital. I need to pay for his treatment. I can't stop working, even if people are rude." A wave of shock spread across the restaurant. Emma's mother covered her mouth. Several customers whispered softly, "Oh no, That's so sad. I didn't know. Anna wiped her eyes and continued quietly. I work 2 shifts a day, sometimes 3. I barely sleep. But his medicine is expensive, and I'm the only one he has. Emma felt her heart break. She stepped closer and held Anna's hand tighter. Then why is everyone being so mean to you? She asked, her voice trembling with emotion. Anna forced a sad smile. People don't see the truth, sweetheart. They only see what's in front of them. They don't see the pain behind someone's smile. Emma looked at the customers around her. But she is helping someone she loves, she said loudly. She is working hard. Why don't you all help her, instead of hurting her? Those simple words from a child hit everyone deeply. A man from the back of the restaurant stood up. You're right, he said. She doesn't deserve this. A woman walked forward and placed some money on the counter. This is for your brother, she said softly. Another person added money. And another. And another. Soon, a small crowd had formed. Customers who had been strangers just minutes ago were now contributing whatever they could. Emma looked up at Anna with a bright, hopeful smile. See, there are good people too. Anna covered her face with her hands and cried quietly, not from shame this time, but from relief. Emma's mother kneeled beside her daughter and whispered, You did something brave today. Emma glanced at Anna and said, I just told the truth. Someone had to, narrator tone. The little girl's courage opened the eyes of a whole room. Where people once saw only a tired waitress, they now saw a sister fighting for the life of someone she loved. Anna knelt down, hugged Emma tightly, and whispered through tears, You saw me? When no one else did, Anna held Emma in her arms, shaking from emotions she had kept inside for too long. For weeks, she had carried her pain alone. She had worked double shifts, listened to insults, and cried silently in the kitchen. But now, for the first time, she felt something warm surrounding her, a room full of strangers showing kindness. Emma pulled back slightly and looked up at Anna. You're not alone anymore, she whispered. Anna tried to smile through her tears. She touched Emma's cheek softly. Thank you, sweetheart. You're the bravest person I know. More people stepped forward with donations. Some gave money. Some offered help. Some simply stood near Anna to show support. Even those who could not give anything placed their hands on their hearts. Silently wishing strength for her brother, the rude man who had caused so much trouble earlier stood up slowly. His face was pale and guilt ate at him like fire. He cleared his throat awkwardly and said, I'm sorry. His voice was small. It didn't erase what he had done, but for the first time, felt the weight of his cruelty. Anna nodded gently but didn't speak to him. She didn't want anger. She only wanted peace. Emma's mother placed a comforting hand on Anna's shoulder. If you need anything at all, please tell us, she said softly. Anna shook her head in disbelief. I don't know how to thank you all, she said. I never expected this, the woman replied. Sometimes we need a child to remind us how to be human. Emma blushed slightly, but kept standing proudly beside Anna. A warm and silent moment spread across the room, a moment where strangers felt connected, where kindness replaced judgment, where one child's courage changed the mood of an entire restaurant. The manager stepped forward, clearing his throat. Anna, he said, I should have defended you earlier. I'm sorry. From now on, no one will treat you badly here. If anyone disrespects you again, they will have to answer to me. Anna nodded gratefully. Her eyes softened. Thank you, sir, continued. Take the rest of the day off. Go to your brother. We will cover everything here. Anna gasped slightly. She had never heard such words from him before. Are you sure? She asked. Yes, he said firmly. You've worked more than anyone. And today, you need to be with your family. Emma quickly pulled on his hand. Go, your brother needs you. Anna smiled, wiping her remaining tears. You're right. Someone handed her an envelope filled with the money customers had collected. Anna opened it and stared at the notes inside. Her breath caught. This was more money than she had ever held in her life. I can pay for his treatment, she whispered in disbelief. I can really help him. Emma reached up, wrapping her arms around Anna again. "I'm happy for you," she said. Before leaving, Anna knelt in front of Emma and looked straight into her eyes. "You saw the truth inside me when no one else did. You spoke when adults stayed silent. You changed my life today." Emma's eyes sparkled. "I only said what was right." Anna kissed Emma's forehead gently. "You have a beautiful heart. Never lose it." Everyone watched as Anna walked toward the exit. She held the envelope close to her chest, as if it contained the whole world. She turned back one last time and smiled a real smile, filled with hope. Emma waved happily. "Good luck," she shouted. Donna replied softly, "Thank you, little angel." As the door closed behind her, the restaurant felt different, lighter, kinder, more human. People returned to their tables not with noise or anger, but with quiet reflection. Emma sat down again, feeling proud. Her mother hugged her tightly. "You did something extraordinary today," Emma smiled. "I just wanted to help," narrator tone. "Sometimes the smallest hearts have the greatest courage. Sometimes a child sees the truth adults ignore. And sometimes a single act of kindness can save a life." Emma looked at the kitchen door, where Anna had disappeared minutes before. She whispered to herself she deserved to be seen. And for the first time in a long time, Anna finally was.